FBI Director Christopher Wray placed Chicken Little in front of Congress. The cost of lying to the American people. Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, FISA, expires at the end of 2023. Section 702 permits the U.S. government to conduct surveillance of electronic communications of foreign persons outside of the U.S. and is what allows warrantless searches as part of the FISA Amendments Act. Because Americans are free to talk to people living outside the U.S., they can be, quote, inadvertently surveilled as part of the communication sweep, and their data is stored and queried by the FBI. In effect, despite the assurances of U.S. intelligence and law enforcement, U.S. citizens are being subjected to warrantless searches and without their knowledge. This power is subjected to abuse as well, with Americans not being the target, but all their foreign contacts are surveilled, thus collecting intelligence on the American through a loophole. This power of the government to conduct searches on Americans without a warrant is being debated for renewal, and the government official taking the lead before Congress is FBI Director Christopher Wray. Wray has been giving emotional arguments that the law was created in the wake of 9/11 and that without it, another tragedy that in his view could be prevented by 702 will happen, and how could we tell the victims it could have been prevented. He also stated that there was all types of warnings in the wake of the attack on Israel and crossings at the southern border, that the world is more dangerous than in recent memory. The tools of Section 02 are needed now to keep Americans safe. He is relying on emotional appeals for his justification. Never mind that the administration he works for has allowed the border to be open with no or minimal vetting before releasing aliens into the interior. It is hard to make a plea for an emotional argument when federal law enforcement allows lawless actions at the border. The other issue with Wray's argument is that the FBI and the Justice Department have routinely conducted database searches on Americans from data collected from 702 collections, and to do so without a warrant or going before the FISA court. Wray has said that new safeguards have been introduced that will prevent unlawful actions of the past will not happen again. There has been no prosecution of violators of Section 702 abuses, so it seems like lip service from the FBI that is trying to hold on to power of warrantless searches. The other challenge that Wray faces outside Section 702 violations is credibility. The FBI has been weaponized against political opponents of the Democratic Party. The FBI played a key role in the Christopher Steele and the Steele dossier investigation into President Trump. Former FBI Director James Comey leaked parts of the Crossfire Hurricane investigation against candidate and later President Trump that triggered former FBI Director Robert Mueller to be appointed as special counsel to investigate Russian collusion by candidate and later President Trump. This investigation, not because of a lack of effort, provided no proof of collusion ever happened. The FBI agents under the direction of FBI Director Comey entrapped Trump's incoming national security advisor through information collected through Section 702 Dragnet. The FBI also placed, quote, threat tags on citizens protesting at school board meetings, sent tactical units to arrest Roger Stone, sent tactical units against nonviolent police and against nonviolent anti-abortion activists, conducted public arrests of January 6 protesters, and largely ignored threats against conservative Supreme Court justices. The intelligence agencies promote a lie by having 51 current and active intelligence officials state the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian disinformation. The FBI also conducted public raids on Mar-a-Lago against former President Trump and spied on members of Congress and their staffs. The FBI has played a pivotal role in President Biden going after his domestic political enemies. And the Republicans and several Democrats have been skeptical of the FBI and are inclined to allow 702 to lapse. It is probably safe to say that most of the politicians in Washington are okay with the FBI power, but their desire to get reelected and not go against an angry constituency are pushing for either lapsing of 702 or major changes to it, despite what Director Wray has been arguing to keep the power that he has in its current format. When Director Wray is facing the cost of weaponization of a government agency against targeted groups of American citizens in the most public way, the FBI, especially the Washington field office, has become a police arm for the Democratic Party, and because of that chosen path, they deserve to lose credibility of the American people, both in the court of public opinion and in court itself. The FBI needs to reestablish credibility from the American people, all the American people, and until they do not deserve the benefit of the doubt or deserve to retain power given to them by Section 702.